Thanks for staying with us. Now, it's a truly devastating thing to find out that your husband, your best friend, has cheated on you. Not only has he cheated, but there is a love child, all children, as a result. So how do you deal with the shock, the anger, the betrayal, the broken heart? You know, recently, the family saga of the popular music artist 2Face that flooded the social media space with his wife Annie at a hysterical state, accusing the artist of cheating with one of his baby mamas, that's Pero, who is alleged to be pregnant with a fourth child. Yeah, it kept a lot of people talking, with some women saying no matter what, they won't leave their marriage, and others saying they will walk away. So what will that deal breaker be for you as a woman out there, right? Would you fight to keep your marriage amidst the level of infidelity, or this kind of level of infidelity, or would you just walk away from the marriage? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. We'll soon open our phone line, so just hold on for us. So you see this conversation, it's quite interesting. I'll put myself...
Thank you.
Let me put myself...
I brought it my way. And I'll put it back in your
to me. Let me put myself out there. Okay. I remember very clearly when I just got married in 2006. And I saw a message on my husband's phone of his ex-girlfriend accusing him of impregnating her. So what I had done, what I had done was, when she said that, you know what I just did? I just mentally programmed my mind. And she was like threatening him. She was going to bring the child. She would take the child to his office and all of that. I said, okay. I just had my first son. So I said, you know what? I'm breastfeeding. She is a baby. It's breast milk. They'll be all right. You know, I had already mentally programmed my mind to say, you know what? If the child eventually showed up, I was going to take care of the child, because I'm one of that person of the school of thought that adults can be stupid. But when it comes to children involved in that stupidity, they have no business, they have nothing to do with your stupidity, and so they should not be caught up in your mess.
But does that make you the rightful person or guiding for that child?
No, but this was the accusation she was going to bring the child. So what would I do? I say, you know what, I'm ready.
She not like to take care of her child. I don't think she was bringing that to him from the angle of, I will expose what we did to your wife. It's a function of, I want to be,
yes, I want to be a second wife.
So what do you do when another woman shows up in your space and say, I want to be?
It's not because of me you came to this show.
Oh my God. I want to hear what you would do if another woman shows up.
I'm the one asking the question here. Yeah. You know, so that's one angle. So let me just wrap it up. So that's one angle. I was mentally prepared. I said, you know what, this child has no, if I thought there was ever a child. But later when I found out that it was just lies, I think she was just bitter that, you know, he didn't
left her.
Yes, he didn't, I mean, they didn't take their relationship to another level, and he got married to somebody else and all of that. So it was a result. So it was more like what you just said. She wanted a space in the house.
Life.
So with what I know today, if you had asked me this question in that 2006, I'll say no problem.
Let her come.
Let her come.
I'm open.
But today, wow, my eye has reached my back, and my eye has seen, and I know how emotionally enraged you can become as a woman. All your emotions will be so worked up. And so, you know, when I listened to that audio note that Annie Dibia had shared,
she was frustrated.
I could feel the pain. Do you know what it means that, you know, it's one thing for a man to just sleep with random people. It's another thing that the same person that has been in your life, so the person never left. So that one hurts deeper. So I don't know if I would ever stay in that kind of situation. My emotions are too important to me now. So anything that would disrupt my mental space or whatever, I would just walk away. So I would really walk away from that relationship.
Completely from your marriage?
From the marriage.
15 years of investment.
I would walk away.
Interesting.
I would walk away because it's not worth it. I have not gone this far, invested with you and all of that, just to be put out there like that. I would not. So maybe if you had asked me this question 10 years ago, 6 years ago, I'll say,
more
but 15 years in marriage with what I've seen and with what I know now, I would not stay. I wouldn't stay because it never changes. It will continue to haunt you. It will continue to linger. And because we are emotional beings, you would continue to feed off that energy. And it's not good for your mental state. Absolutely. I know women that have been diagnosed with cancer. Depression. Is it depression? Depression is good. Have died of cancer because of some of these negative emotions that comes with infidelity. So I don't know. I wouldn't stay. But let me hear your thoughts.
Sorry, just a question. Does being diagnosed with cancer have to do with being
some people are linked to emotions,
emotional distress?
Yes, that now eventually triggers
an ingrowth. Very interesting. I do not know if I would stick around for it, but I would. Now let's go back to the foundation. A man and a woman involved in a relationship is a function of who are you involved with? Let's use Two-Face as a classical example. It is, I don't know if, what's her name?
Is it Pero or Annie now?
If Annie is crying wolf now, because she's had it up to here, because this is not new news. Two-Face has a record of being involved with other women. It's not just Pero that she's this baby mother, but the fact that she's had 3 kids or with the 4th one on the way is quite staggering. If I were to be a marriage counselor to Annie, I would say you really have no business continuing that relationship. You would consistently be damaged because this pattern is consistent. But now let's look at a situation where the man or the woman are in a relationship and there's been no issue of a man being a potential, what's the word? Philanderer. That it happened to maybe at a particular time in his life, he found himself in a very difficult situation because marriages go through a lot of tough. I was watching some series yesterday and this guy, because the wife rejected him, he found himself chasing after another woman. Now in a situation where there is a lot of strain in relationship, which proximity brings in marriage, and the man finds himself involved with another woman, and peradventure, she fell pregnant, because really we do not have a one-size.
She fell pregnant.
Yes, we do not have a one-size-fit-all approach for these problems, and it will be very, very unfair, artificial for us to sit and say that this is how it should be or this is what I would do. You really do not know what you're going to do until you're faced with a situation. So if a man you're involved with found himself wanting and had a bit of a character defect temporarily, and on account of that a child came into being or into birth with another woman, it might be encouraged of the woman to be more enduring, understanding that it is not in his natural traits to philander or be chasing after women, but there are chronic womanizers that will constantly put you in pain perpetually, that is almost like a mental illness or a medical condition that he cannot help being involved with other women. Should you continue to abhor such a relationship because it is marriage, is something that I would not stand around or advise anybody to stand around for. You have to look at the situation and the conditions surrounding which a child came into play in the first place. So I do not think it's a one-size-fits-all solution where you would say, oh, the moment your man brings in another woman, definitely it's a no-no, just throw the child out and just walk out of the marriage. It doesn't work like that. A lot of years, a lot of effort has been invested in relationships. You cannot just get up and say, I'm going because there's an error.
Okay, so I like the angle you brought, right? There are so many things that you have said, and I love that angle that we're able to define. There is a perpetual cheat.
Yes.
And there's one that probably you guys had a disconnect.
And then there was
an error.
Yes.
You understand? I don't think any woman would just walk away from that relationship, especially when there's genuine repentance, and it's not like he's, you know, those kind of people that would continue to do it even afterwards. There is a mistake. It has happened and there's a child involved.
There's a consequence for it.
Do you understand? It has happened and there's a child involved. I think with that one, I think a lot of women will be able to stomach that. But when you have someone that consistently is known for this, he goes to Japan, there's a child. He goes to Israel, there's a child. He goes to France, there's a child. There are children everywhere. So I want to bring it back to the woman.
That point. Okay.
If you are a woman like me, that is very jealous about her man, that wants to know that this man, we are in it together. You know, some women actually can share. They don't mind.
They don't mind.
You understand?
I know a friend who would actually say to me, no matter what my husband does, I'm never leaving my marriage. She condones and excuses his behavior. She says things like, you don't expect a man not to cheat. And I think our society...
So I was coming there.
Our society permits such disrespect on women. Now, people cheat not because of the society that allows it. In this same society that condones such things, there are still people who would not cheat. It doesn't mean that they don't have other vices, because then they go back to everyone has got a character flaw. It's either you are a cheating man, or you are the type that drinks, or you are the type that batters, that everyone has got a character flaw. So you have to just take whichever one you find yourself with, because if it's either this or it is that. Now, there's so many things that so many people can take, and there's some things that is a deal breaker for some women. Some women can stick with a man that drinks and get himself in a nasty state over a man that cheats. Another would say, I would rather be with a man that hits me and is faithful to me than be with a man that loves me and he cheats. You know, there's so many aspects to this story. Really, for me, as a woman, it depends on the circumstance surrounding that child coming into play. You can give up your role as a wife. You can give up your role as a husband. You can give up being a spouse. But being parent is not optional. And this is why you, even the woman that is bringing that child, what is her purpose and what is her mission? Are you bringing that announcement to break the marriage? Are you trying to find, make the man responsible for his actions? Yeah. Or are you just trying to dump your child? Because some people
or have your own piece of the pie.
Kids and say, I do not want a child. I just want to dump this child at your door. Let you and your wife or whatever deal with that. So it is a lot to it, really. And the way Annie went bonkers on social media, I felt her pain. I felt her agonizing, contained, pressured pain over a period of years, because she said stuff like, I've had enough. It's
so
been
that's
over 10 years.
But you know, I told you.
The parent do not love me.
Milola.
The manager will not answer my call.
Milola.
She felt cornered into a spot and she was really frustrated.
So that was why I said, with what I know now, 15 years, do you understand? With what I know now, if you had told me at the beginning of the marriage, right? I understand your argument about it depends on circumstances and all of that. But it depends on, so with what I know now, a man never changes. You know what happens? Annie was getting married to a two-face. Why? With the ideology in her mind
that maybe with time it would change.
Thank you.
It would accept me.
And guess what? She is not alone in that journey. We all do that as women. We always think. Yes, we assume. Yes, we assume that if we stay long enough together, blah blah blah, and all of that,
compensatory relationship,
that he would change.
Infidelity with time, just so that.
Thank you.
Because people always believe that men get tired of cheating.
Do you get my point? And it never happens that way.
Sometimes it does, and most times it doesn't.
That's my point. So when we do that, we enter into such relationship with the mindset that, you know what, don't worry, give it time. After like 4 years, 5 years,
it will
cool off. He's not going to cool off because they just guess what? They just get further emboldened
by the fact that
you are condoning it. So I was going to say that another reason why I would walk away from the marriage is not so much of even the fact that the man actually has a love child. It means the man is busy having unprotected sex. So if, for instance, now this woman has HIV outside.
That is coming on your head.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
What am I living for? So at the end of the day,
that's another angle.
My darling,
very critical.
It is so for me now. I am very conscious about my health and conscious about my life, because if I go and contract a sexually transmitted disease,
because of a man's philandering.
When a man gets a woman pregnant, what that is telling me is that protection is not being thrown through.
Not priority.
Thank you. It's thrown in the whatever in the bin. So you are not even conscious of the fact that what if this person I'm cheating with my wife on, she's also sleeping around. You're not conscious about that. It means you are not even. You are selfish and self-centered. You're not paying attention to the fact that I need to protect my family and the health. Because if anything happens and I contract AIDS and you contract AIDS, what then eventually happens? I know people are living with AIDS. They will tell me, oh no, technology is better now. But it didn't have to happen.
You're right, babe. And another thing is our society our society breed a lot of nuisances. We condone a lot of wrongs and errors and think that because 1, 2, 3 people are doing it, then it must be the norm. You know, there's always an issue around, you have to think about your children. What would the society say? What would people say? Where do you want to start from? These are the things they tie around our neck.
As women.
To keep us, yes, to keep us imprisoned in a relationship that is disrespectful, that is disempowering. It's about time. Now, I'm not an advocate for walk away when it doesn't work well. There is need for you to try and iron out your differences and find a midpoint that works for both parties. Do you get? Another thing that is also very critical is you should know your spouse when you set out to be in a relationship that leads into marriage. A bunch of us rush into marriage, really and truly. And many a time we marry at a time when we're not even aware of who we are.
Oh yeah, I was coming
We
there.
do not know ourselves, how much more know the people we're getting involved with. The yardstick and the metrics with which we measure compatibility is usually very flawed at a younger age. We look at things like he loves me, he cares for me, he thinks about me, you know, all those petty nonsense that we women get caught up with. These are some of the things we base relationship on. The pertinent and important questions we do not ask. To understand that this man, what makes him tick? Some men would not joke around with sex. If you're pregnant and you're not able to actively perform your sexual intimacy with a man, he's not going to be okay with it. You need to understand how well has he been able to curtail his libido. How much can he transmit?
How compatible are you, both of you, libido-wise?
Yes. How well, aside from, let's even assume that you're both sexually compatible. How well can he transmute his sexual energy? Because the desire for intimacy is biological. It's just like a woman ovulating and feeling some desires for intimacy. It doesn't mean that you would give it a physical expression every time there's that urge. There is need for you to have self-control. There's need for you to have understanding of yourself and understand that whomever you're sharing intimacy with, you're sharing beyond your damn physical moment. You're sharing deep moments of your life. A lot of people do not take sex beyond right now direct intercourse. There is more to it than that. So when you are in courtship, they used to tell us that it's not good to have sex before marriage. Me, I don't agree. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll go on a break on that note. We'll go on a break.
Because really, you need to know who you're getting involved with and see sexual compatibility. Because these are real issues that you're going to contend with.
So do you think, I've seen people that everywhere, their fire.
Drive
But the man will still cheat. Come on.
Hey,
you know what? Let's take a break, Joe. When we come back, hopefully Jennifer will try to get it. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we are asking ourselves as women, would you fight to keep your marriage with a cheating spouse? You know, an unknown source actually said that you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have.
Absolutely.
You understand? So please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Now, our phone line is now open. You can call us on 070-2500-7749. Please, when you call, turn off the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves and keep it within a minute. So Jennifer is here. Let me quickly come to Jennifer. Finally, she's here. How are you, Jennifer? This Abuja network is not fair to us, but we are fine. But so, Jennifer, you were listening in on the conversation. I mean, this is one conversation that every time that it comes up is almost like, you know, we're being one-sided. First of all, I honestly cannot expect anything other than what Pero is doing. I cannot have 3 children for a man and call myself a baby man. I'm sorry, I'm a second wife. You just need to accept it like that. Yeah. You understand? So this, but again, even her putting herself. No, hold on. No, it's not that. Because even her putting herself in that position, she's actually hurting herself emotionally. That she cannot even be with the father of her children. He's somewhere, she's somewhere. You know, but let me hear your initial thoughts on the conversation. What would you do?
First of all, I would like to say that women need to love themselves more.
The one and the most important.
Because I feel like for you to have 3 kids with a man who is obviously married to someone else, it's a problem. For you to have 3 kids with someone who already has kids everywhere, you don't love yourself. Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want peace? And I don't know what is going on in the heads of women or in the minds of women these days. But first of all, women need to sit down and look at it that these men are very selfish. See, men will do things without even thinking about you. I mean, that's totally fine. If that's the angle you want to go or that's the path in which you want to take, then that's fine. But you cannot stay in a relationship where the man is always thinking about himself.
Absolutely.
When I had this,
you know what, Jennifer, hold your thoughts. Let me quickly take Peter, then I'll come back to you. Peter, are you there? Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Peter, for calling.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, a very sensitive topic. And marriage is all about for better, for worse. And cheating it's very bad. It's heartbroken on both sides. But you must look at this. Every problem like this has its own situation. So I think you only know how strong, like the last statement you made before I made this call, until you are being faced with a situation like this. But I cannot hold brief for the women folk. But if any man does that, it's not good. But life has to go on. You must forgive. That's it.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Forgive and take the
Jennifer, let me come back to you. You were going to say something.
Interesting. He just said he must forgive. I'm here to tell you women that you don't have to forgive. The least you can do. See, at this point, you have to choose yourself. And it's as simple as that. Now, coming to Annie. Yeah, Annie knew from the start that Two-Face is this kind of person. Absolutely. And the fact that she chose to stick around, I don't know, I don't understand it. I think at the end of the day, she felt like she was winning a prize. If we're being honest, Two-Face is not a prize. It's the honest truth. Forget the fact that he's a celebrity.
Well, Jennifer, do you think that is coming? Not the prize. Do you think that is coming off of the fact that probably she might have a bit of esteem issues? Because if you are looking at Two-Face as a prize,
it's possible because she has been with him since she was very young. And I feel like the fact that she ended up with him and stayed for that long, even with all the scandal and everything that had happened, I feel like she had gotten to the point where she felt like she had put in so much into the relationship. So I mean, the only way to go is to marry the guy, and then you ended up marrying the guy. So you're feeling like, oh, okay, I finally got him after all these years. I'm the most important one, and all of that. I understand that. I mean, I get where she's coming from. It's not easy when you sacrificed, you've waited. He has gone out, he has messed around, and then you would expect him to just walk away. You yourself, you would not want to walk away. You feel like, oh, I put in so much, so I deserve to stay. I deserve to win this. And then when she got married, a lot of people felt, and it's true, because when she got married to him, people were saying, oh my God, after all these years, they finally settled down. You finally picked her out of all the women. Oh my God, she's so lucky. But years down the line, see what is happening. Is she really lucky though? And now she's realizing that she's actually not lucky.
You know, that was why...
A cheating man is a cheating man. It didn't look like he was going to change. She just needed to settle for a bit.
I'm happy...
And the truth is, the reason why we think that he settled or he wasn't cheating was because nobody got pregnant for him. But now somebody has gotten pregnant for him. You realize that he has a child. So please, tell me.
You know, that was why I said in the beginning that with what I know now and after 15 years in marriage, what I cannot stand now, I will not stand it from the beginning. Because what? It never changes.
Absolutely.
The man will continue to be that kind of person that is comfortable sleeping around with different women. So if you cannot take it now, there is, you see, it can only get worse because this is like it eats deep and it grows bigger with a lot of boldness.
Absolutely.
So what they do now is that, now my wife, don't worry, she will forgive me. So that's why when Peter is talking about forgiveness, so it's not like I cannot forgive you. I can walk away and still forgive you.
Absolutely.
We'll be fine, we'll be good friends. But I cannot put myself in a place where I'm perpetually tormented emotionally. You understand? There's a difference.
It's emotionally draining to be in an unhealthy relationship. Because this kind of character that we're using as a case study is not one that happened just once in a while. This is his lifestyle. And to have stuck around for that behavior, it reflects, just like Jennifer said, it reflects I don't want to say she has low self-esteem. It reflects upon her self-love for herself and self-awareness. Because people do not just cheat. There's a vacuum in them that they're trying to fulfill. And there's a part of you that doesn't fulfill that need. And one thing about those kind of habit and attribute is, even the other woman is cheating with, is still not going to fulfill those needs.
Definitely not. Let me take Sam quickly and I'll come back to you. Sam, are you there? Thank you for calling from Abuja.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah. This topic is a very good topic. And again, people will not, I don't want people to end this topic just for this 1 hour. If you can continue for a week, it will be very interesting. And again, number one, if we have to do it again, bring in a man into the topic, not just female alone. Let them use their mouth to speak. What is their problem?
Sam, that's why you are calling now, so you can tell us what the issue is.
What is wrong with men bringing long children home? Please, yes, we can hear you. We'd like to hear your opinion, sir.
Yeah, my opinion is it's wrong for a man to cheat. I'm a man. I have a wife. I don't do it. I don't know what we want from another person, another woman's life. I don't know what we want from it. Some of us do that because I have girls. Some people do say I have because I have male. And, cheating, and at the end of the day, what you are looking for is what you are getting from the other person. So why cheating? You're supposed to be there, say you, and let them be talking, let them talk, let them use their mouth to talk. Why are they cheating on their wife? You understand? And again, these men, we are wired with polygamy. That sense, that mentality is not there. Yes, our body is wired as a polygamy. We have the power to cheat. We have the power to go and do whatever we want, and it is wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. But is it not disrespectful for you to cheat and still have the effrontery to bring a love child home?
I was going to tell you.
Because that's the boldness.
Do we have a twist to this story and say, is it okay if men cheat anyways and they respect their woman? Because a woman will say, as long as he doesn't bring it to me, as long as I do not smell it, as long as I'm not aware, then I can look away. But
now, people like that statement that you've just made now is why they blame us women. Because they say that we are the enablers of this cheating lacuna that has eaten deep in a lot of marriages, right? Because we say, as long as he's not bringing it to my face. So it's okay for him to cheat, but let me not catch him. That is the conversation. But really,
that's another twist to it.
You know what, Jennifer? Let me come to you.
Okay, can I say something? I feel like the fact that you have to step out of a relationship is already disrespect. It's not about you catching the person or people seeing the person in public. The fact that you have to actually step out of a relationship for both genders is disrespect. And I think we also need to bring this to the table that cheating goes both ways for both genders. I mean, we saw in the news recently where Nedu's, I don't know, ex-wife or something, they said something about her having a child that is not for him. And then she says that he did not ask her. I felt like,
well, that conversation of women, because it is easy for a man like Peter to say we should forgive. On Thursday, we are doing a part 2. If now go and bring a baby to you, sure you will forgive me and you will collect the child. Because it
don't
is,
forgive.
No, we shall talk about it because...
Let me share this story
Go
that
ahead.
I saw on Twitter. A girl was saying how her uncle had been cheating on his wife for a very long time. He kept on cheating and cheating. So the woman decided to cheat back. When she cheated, the man had an attack and died.
He died. You know what? Austin.
And then somebody responded and said, your uncle is very rude. Why did he die?
Why did he die? He should have...
Why did he stick around to see how he feels?
Austin from Jalingo. Wow. He couldn't even handle small cheating.
Small cheating.
Small cheating. Thank you for calling.
My phone and call back.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
We can hear you. You're live.
Okay, all right, good.
Salaam alaikum.
Amin alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good. All right. Amin alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yeah. I appreciate this program.
Thank you.
Somebody initially, the person that said he doesn't cheat, that is his own cup of tea in the first place. But the truth is this: wives' relationship generally could be either positive or negative. If the wife is a nagging woman and you don't have the capacity to add another wife, maybe being a Christian, then there is every possibility for that man to go out and search for.
Comfort.
Psychologically, if a man is used to sleeping with his wife or making love with his wife like 5 or 3 times in a week, and probably something happened in between the line and the woman close up,
I told you about it.
then the man can overtake that. Let's take for 2 weeks, he will be patient waiting for the wife to at least give him a face. And if the woman refuses, naturally temptations happen out there, either in workplace, field trip, or anywhere.
Austin.
So that could happen, and the man will be tempted to fall into those temptations.
If your wife goes to get pregnant
Yes.
and bring the child, what do you want? What would you do? Because it's almost like you are justifying cheating right now.
He feels that there's always an explanation.
Wait now,
and
let him answer.
justification for it.
Oh, if my wife should get out there and bring in a child to the house, yes, in that line, I think I should be human enough to examine myself. What led to that? Am I not satisfying her? If I'm giving her 100%, then I think probably I will go against that. Probably I will call it a wrap.
Thank you.
But if I'm working very hard and she is just, maybe I'm not the person satisfying her, then that's fine. Okay?
Thank
yes.
you. Thank
But
you, Austin.
another thing, finally, if I should say is
Quickly.
this. A woman should be the husband's prostitute. The woman should be able to turn left and right, leg up, hang on the wall and everything so that the husband will enjoy it. Most often, such joy happens outside the home. Women out there in the field give you the way you want more than your wives at home. So why should be the prostitute of the woman? That is
Austin, you are making my crew, I'm hearing them screaming from the MCR. But thank you, Austin, thank you. I get that part, but I've also seen women that are extremely good in bed. Like they are the expert, they are the pro.
They are willing
the
to
man
go the
still
extra.
goes to cheat. So it's not so much of doing the hanging of, I can hang leg, I can hang leg, but you see, I want to hang my leg with peace of mind. You understand? I don't want to hang my leg thinking, where did he go to? Where did he put this thing somewhere else? So I think for me, I can become all of that. I can become the prostitute and the good wife, the everything. I can become all in one. But I want to become that with somebody that I know that we are going to be faithful with each other.
There are no guarantees in life, my darling.
You know, so but let's take some comments.
We just find ourselves in situations that throws us. And
Jennifer, you were just busy laughing. You want to say why you are laughing? So this is from Rafael Akori in Zaria. It says, everything in life has a price tag and anything we tolerate cannot be changed. Cheating is just bad, but the product of the act is innocent, as I'd rightly said. You know, you have a comment. Jennifer, you wanted to say something? I saw you laughing.
It's Austin from Jalingo. He was just
He hasn't got it.
he was just making me laugh. I was going to ask him a question, but I think you kind of asked him about how bringing a child home, and he said he will examine himself. And I feel like the first thing you would feel is betrayal. You won't have to. It'll probably be later that you have to examine yourself to find out what the problem.
Let me take Austin. Austin from Benin. There are many Austins today. Are these proxy names or their real names? Hi, Austin. Thank you for calling.
Good evening.
Hi, Austin. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. The truth is that cheating is just a habit. It's a habit. And it's common with, the man or the woman can indulge in it. And in this issue of Two-Face and his wife, but his wife is already aware that, Two-Face had other children before they got married. And she was comfortable. But I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe another one happened. If another one happened, then it's not a good one.
Thank you.
Like I like to use myself as an example. I had a child before I got married, but I told my wife. I told my wife about it before we got married. I didn't just throw it at her like that. So that's the way it is. If you are randy, it's a habit. It's not like people who drink. There are people who cannot. They drink and smoke. It's a habit. It is not that a man must cheat. You understand?
Yeah.
Thank you.
A man must not cheat. But the men who cheat and women who cheat is just a habit. It's something that they are used to. They were used to it before they got married. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Austin. So the context of this conversation is not so much of the children before the marriage, right? Because yes, that lady I talked about, my husband, they were dating, and she actually thought he was going to pop the question, and so they actually had, so they were dating. So it was a before the marriage. I just entered the marriage, and that was what I saw. So it's different. When you are now inside the marriage and you are doing it and bringing children home, that one, I think is a no-no.
It's a two-question. You are doing it, one. You did it. Children came out of it, too. We should have another session on this.
No, we are doing a part 2 on Thursday.
Let me take your comments
quickly.
Very quickly. And this is from Ade. He says, good evening, ladies. You're all looking good. Thank you for that. Today's topic is about man. What about a promiscuous woman? She comes home with an external affair pregnancy of third child to her matrimonial home, only to be detected by an embassy DNA test results during the husband's visa application.
So I think
to relocate family to another country.
Thank you, Ade. That's a comment. So we are going to take that comment for Thursday. We'll start from there when women are promiscuous. But I have a final call, Daniel, I think, from Ibadan. Quickly, you have like a minute.
Okay. Thank you for the good job you are doing.
Thank you.
For me, cheating is a no-no. So yes, I can forgive, I cannot forget. And in my case, if it happens, it will lead to dissolution of the marriage.
Fantastic.
So
Thank you.
I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
And it's on both sides.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, so but again, the way we see things these days, we see that the women are leading this cheating of the thing now. We have multiple of DNA and so many cheating coming from the women folks.
Don't worry. Thursday, we're doing a part 2. Thank you, Daniel. On Thursday, we're going to now talk about us. If we are the ones that bring the belly home, what would the husband do?
We don't even bring the pregnancy. We sneak
the child in.
Yes,
hey.
Until it gets reviewed in DNA.
I tell you, but you know what? We've had an amazing conversation. We'll do a part 2 on Thursday.
Babe.
Absolutely. So thank you, Jennifer Nicholas. Thank you, Milola.
You're welcome.
All right, so before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Thank you to everyone that tried to call that we couldn't pick your calls and the messages. Thank you. Do interact with us further, drop a comment, and we're planning a giveaway. Say thank you to you for believing in the Waze brand. So follow us now is at PlusTvAfrica. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. Infidelity, right, has absolutely nothing to do with love. It has to do with an emptiness or a now bankrupt coping mechanism within your spouse that has been there long before they met you. An affair is an attempt to escape from the reality of oneself. We'll see you guys. Don't worry, we're bringing this back on Thursday, but we'll see you guys tomorrow for another great conversation. Enjoy. Bye.